Around a year ago, I built my very first bookshelf and I already outgrew it. There's literally no space to put new books in. So a couple of days ago, I decided to order a new shelf. I will be extending my home library. I don't know how to go about this. Before we start, let me walk you through my plan. As you can see, between the poster and the bookcase, I have a little bit of space left. I can just simply shove this chair onto the side. And I want to expand my home library exactly over here. I have the same exact case. This is the Billy bookcase from IKEA. It's just that more narrow version. I believe it's half of this size and therefore it should fit perfectly over here between the poster. I really don't want to cover this poster up. Like, look at how beautiful it is. Oh, the zoom is so slow in this camera, but I will probably be creating a few new sections. I definitely want to have Attack on Titan on a separate shelf, especially because I have already ordered a few more volumes and I just will not have space for it anymore. There's a mess. There's such a mess in my books. I think this one is absolutely the worst shelf out of all of them. So it is time for an upgrade. I think I'm just going to use my floor as my workspace. I have emptied it out. Let's just bring all of the parts from the bookcase. Toolbox and all the other stuff I need. Most importantly though, I think I'm gonna go change because this is just not a good Bob the Builder outfit, so be right back. This is such a bad angle, but I've changed and I need to look at the manual. Okay, everything's segregated. Time for my least favorite part, which is trying to squeeze this backing into the bookcase. It should be also slightly easier than with the bigger bookcase. Okay, this was way easier than I thought. First of all, I'm going to clean up a little bit. Chair out of the way. For now, I'm going to put it back in once I put the shelf. Right? Oh, yeah, I like this. Oh, my slipper. Okay, we're fine. Fine. And now I have to drag it here. Ta-da! This looks really good. Hold on, I'm gonna show you maybe from a different perspective, kind of from far away, how it looks like. Oh, I could have taken like before and after shots. Didn't think about that. But that is what it looks like when you first walk into this office. I was worried that because I'm gonna change the position of the chair to be more to the left and therefore closer to the doors, it's gonna make the room feel super tiny, but it actually isn't. Like, look, I still have quite a bit of walking space from the desk over here. My book order finally arrived, so I can properly start organizing this shelf over here. And I made a little plan drawing. I don't know if you can tell, but I have an idea of what I want to be in which spot. I think I'm gonna start from bottom up because I kind of want to start by moving all of my Jujutsu Kaisen manga. So here's the thing about Jujutsu Kaisen. I think I have come come to terms that I've always loved the idea for the story more than I actually like the story itself. That started hitting me the most when the new arc started, the Calling Game. The Calling Game is so bad, okay? This arc is going to be the 3rd season of the anime if you guys have never seen it. All the flaws that the story had really shine through in this arc. Let's just get this over with. Let's put my Jujutsu Kaisen manga on the bottom shelf. As you can see right now, my Jujutsu Kaisen is right over here, right next to, well, this is kind of a wild mix right now because I started collecting all of the Attack on Titan omnibus mangas and I want to get all of them. I just don't have the space for it. And also my Avatar stuff are here, so there's just too much of everything. So Jujutsu Kaisen, you are going over here, right next to the pile of shame actually. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go about it because I fear that my Gojo plushie is not going to fit here anymore. This keychain trick that I showed you in my first bookshelf video still holds up. I did not have to move it a single time. It never fell. Best trick ever. Just loop a string. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a string over here, right? And I just looped it through the keychain hole and then put it in the book between the pages. Okay. So now what am I gonna do with the decorations? Because I still have the plushie on top of the volumes, but now the shelf, the next one starts already here, so I can't really squeeze it there. The next to shelf, I actually want to be an extension of what I have over here. So on the bottom, I have YA fantasy, and over here is more of adult fantasy slash dystopians. I'm specifically thinking of doing maybe this shelf just be romantasy, though I do have a lot of romantasy books, so I kind of have my doubts that they're actually going to fit in there. I very ambitiously thought that I know what I'm doing. Turns out I don't. I did pull out though books that I want to be on a separate shelf. Maybe I should actually just put books more naturally. Like if I know where a book is supposed to go, I'm just gonna place it and then I'm gonna reorganize. I don't know. Let's talk about the books that I know where I want to put, because I want them to be on the second to last shelf. And this is what I'm gonna call my Ghibli-esque bookshelf, because I have a lot of books that kind of feel like the Ghibli studio movies. So for example, I have the Song for the Wild Build, I have Six Crimson Cranes, the Divine Rivals duology, Sorcery of Thorns, and I really would want a separate shelf for them. They don't necessarily match with my YA fantasy or romantasy or adult fantasy. They feel like it's their own separate genre, so I want to put them there. Okay, you know what? Let's do that. I want to place them over here and over here. You know what? I'm symbolically gonna put Zuko in here. Oh, there's your fruit. So Zuko is gonna symbolically be over here because, oh my gosh, this is going to be my Avatar shelf. Should I put on my fairy lights to make it cuter? Much better, right? Let's place all of the books over here. As you can see, this is the whole stack of them. A little bit color themed. So we will go from white to blue to green. This is what I'm thinking of. I really want to have Water Moon on display, not because it's like my favorite book, but I absolutely love this cover. And honestly, just looking at this cover reminds me of all the imagery that was in this book, and I really love the imagery of it. But I also have two decorations I want to put here. So first of all, I was at the movie theater the other day because our local cinemas organize this anime event almost every month where they air anime movies. And for example, now it's September and I'm pretty sure the new Demon Slayer movie is coming out, so they're gonna be airing that. And last month they were airing a pretty old Ghibli movie that I actually have never seen, and so I was really excited to go and see it in the movie theater. And I believe the movie in English is called The Graveyard of Fireflies. Well, if you've seen it, then you know this is a really bad movie to go watch in the movie theater. And I knew it. That's the funniest thing. I knew it. Going into this movie, I knew I'm going to cry, but I was not expecting to finish the movie being barely able to walk out of the movie theater on the stairs because my eyes were so foggy from the tears, and I just ran to the bathroom, locked myself in it, and just, ooh, that was the ugliest sob of my life. And they were giving us free postcards of the movie. But because this movie was so emotional, and it just honestly looking at this reminds me of how intense this movie was. I don't know if I want to have it on the display because I'm scared that every single time I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna cry. Maybe it can just be like over here. It's not hidden, but I know it's there. And the last decoration that I have to kind of keep this blue color scheme is that I have a little statuette, I guess, of Himmel from Frieren. He's one of my favorite characters ever. Look, he actually visually also really matches this shelf. He's a very Ghibli coded character as well, so I feel like he matches here. I don't know, maybe he should be on the left. No, I think I like him on the right a little bit more. And as for the shelf below this, I did say that I want this to be my avatar stuff. So here's my Rise of Kyoshi. That is gonna be here. And also this lovely thing. This is Avatar, The Promise. It just doesn't hit as much as the original show. So I don't know if I'm going to continue reading all of the comics, because I know there's a lot of comics in the same universe following up the events of the main story. I would generally speaking recommend it, but not if you expect it to be as good as the original show. It's just not going to be. The Rise of Kyoshi over here. Also, you know what? Speaking of Rise of Kyoshi, I feel like fan fiction about Kyoshi is more accurate than this book. I always thought that Kyoshi warriors are the representative of the strength in femininity. So imagine my surprise when it turned out that her wearing makeup and having these traditionally feminine clothes and accessories is not a deliberate choice, and she just kind of, I'm not even gonna spoil the book. I was very disappointed with this one, I'm not gonna lie. You know, it looks cute. That's the most important part, right? No, it's not. So now we have a bunch of empty space over here. And my plan is to do Attack on Titan here. I have in total 5 omnibus volumes. Sorry, 6 volumes. So they clearly do not fill the whole shelf. And also I have this beauty. I am such a proud owner of this. This is the No Regrets additional stories of Levi's backstory. Sorry, one volume fell, I got scared. There's also a lot of additional art like this here and here. This one is so good. And also I believe at the end of the book there is a bonus interview with the author. Do it like this. What am I gonna do with this one? I have one single Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint volume. I do want to get all of them, but they're super expensive, unfortunately. One more thing for the Attack on Titan shelf is that I have yet another Funko Pop to add to my collection. I am truly becoming a Funko Pop person. I've never thought I would be one, but I do really like how they look on the shelf. Like, look, I have little Zuko, I have on the bottom over here Kakashi, but I also don't want my entire shelf to just be Funko Pops, because it's not supposed to be a Funko Pop collection shelf. It's supposed to be a bookshelf. So I'm trying to control myself with them. I got an Eren Funko Pop because he is my favorite character. I mean, okay, he's my favorite character, but he's my favorite character from season 1 to 3. And then this is specifically a Funko Pop of him from season 4, which is the version of him that I really dislike. Why did I do this to myself? Good question. This look specifically on him is so iconic that I felt like I need to have this. So now, as you can see at the bottom over here, I have Percy Jackson and also a sign of affection. Honestly, my new love. This is my discovery of this year, and this single-handedly made me believe in love again. This is the most wholesome love story that I think I've ever read. And surprisingly, most of the story is about these characters already being in a relationship, because I feel like a lot of the times when you have stories, romance stories, it's about characters getting into a relationship, and then when they get into a relationship it just ends because the author doesn't know what to do with the story. But this is very different because it's about characters actually learning how to love each other, learning how to communicate in a relationship in a healthy way, learning what is okay and what is not okay. I love it so much. I just don't know where to put it on my bookshelf. I mean, I could put it just here, I guess. No, I see you. Stop it. Don't do this to me. Really. Here is my Percy Jackson shelf. That is not changing. I still love it. I'm just going to have more space now on it because, you know, I had to squeeze in other stuff in here like this. Perfect. The only thing I'm not gonna be changing at all is my Cassandra Clare over here. That is gonna stay exactly the way it is because, well, this is literally a whole shelf. It has to stay like that. But you know what? Speaking of top shelf, let's fill this one in because I want to put all of my nonfiction in there because I started reading a lot of nonfiction this year. I never thought I would really get into nonfiction. I always thought that, oh, you know, nonfiction is really boring. Most of the nonfiction books that I've picked up this year, I rated 5 stars. What have I been doing my entire life? Not reading nonfiction. It's so amazing to be learning about so many different topics. My favorite genre in general, I guess, of nonfiction books are psychology books. I absolutely love learning about psychology. I've kind of been like this for the past 10 years. I don't know why it never occurred to me to read nonfiction books about psychology. So I have a bunch of books over here. I started off with having just this one book, one very random book that I read many years ago. And this is already the amount that I've acquired and read. Actually, hold on. Excluding this one, this is Ted Chiang's Stories of Your Life and Others short story collection. It's not nonfiction, but I'm putting it here because it just kind of fits in here. I don't know, however, how to go about this because one single issue that I have with nonfiction is that all of the books are different sizes. Literally every single book is in a different size. Do you understand how much that pisses me off? So because of it, it's just not gonna look good on the shelf no matter how I put it there. Look at this.
God, oh, hell no.
I do want to fill this shelf just a tiny little bit more with 2 other books, and I'm specifically thinking of Mona Awad's Rouge, and I have one more at the bottom. Let me grab it. It is Rushani Chokshi's The Last Tale of the Flower Bride book. Both of these are literary fiction. I don't really read literary fiction, as you can probably tell from my bookshelf. So these are the only 2 literary fiction books that I have. And so maybe I can just kind of squeeze them there. I will say that the literary fiction may not be really my genre. I just felt really lost, confused, and a little uncomfortable while reading both of these. Next to nonfiction. And now we can move on to these bookshelves. So this is the worst one because I really don't know how to organize it. At the bottom, I am not gonna be changing a lot because I have my pile of shame. Oh, actually, speaking of which, I have a new book to add to my pile of shame. It's Powerless. Pile of Shame is staying the same exact way. And then over here on the right, my physical TBR. Do you guys want to see my physical TBR? Maybe you do. I have the second book in the Serpent and the Wings of Night duology. No, not duology, series. I have a brand new book that I have not seen a single person talk about, but it is called Modern Divination by Isa Agajanian. That's what the book looks like. Cultish by Amanda Montel, because I read Word Slut from her. It is on my nonfiction shelf. Loved the way Amanda writes. She is like, you can see that she's just such a fun person to be around. I really loved the writing style and just the voice of Amanda, so I want to read more of her books. And then the 2 books that I have for my fall reading challenge that I'm doing for myself, where I'm reading, you know, fall books. I have Thorn Hedge by T. Kingfisher and also The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. And lastly, this is a book that I've had for a while on my TBR and I just never feel like I want to read it, and that is Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory by Raphael Bob Waxberg. And for some reason I thought it's going to be like a essay collection about self-love. Turns out it's a collection of just real stories of real people, and I don't know if I want to read that. That is going to be my TBR pile, exactly in the same spot as it was before. I love having a TBR shelf. It is And as for these two, maybe hold on. I definitely want to put all of my Carissa Broadbent books together because I don't like the fact that they're on separate shelves. I guess if I'm going full romantasy, I could also put my Fourth Wing books there. I just need to keep in mind that I still have this ginormous book that I will be putting here once I read it. And oh my gosh, yeah, that is already way too tight. So I don't think I can put Fourth Wing in there. Okay, change of plans. That's staying in here. What can I put there though? I don't know how to go about this. Maybe I could display a cover of this book to kind of fill this space for now. Kind of like that. Yeah, because I do love this cover of the book. It looks really pretty. Let's move on to this lower shelf. And that's where I have a little bit of a dilemma because I don't know what to put here without taking away all of these books. I really don't know. Because the thing is, there is an option to leave this shelf completely empty, but I don't really want to do that. And also these books, maybe except for this one, these three books, I don't think they really deserve to be here. I'm just gonna leave it. I am definitely gonna be filling it with other books that I have because I have so many on my TBR. And I also have already so many books on my list of all of them that I want to purchase right after I finish these ones. So there's really no need to worry. I'm really happy with the way that my shelf turned out. I think that little section added so much. Finally, it really feels like a properly wide enough bookshelf because before that, when I only had this part, it really felt so narrow and I was like, oh, it doesn't look like a proper home bookshelf, but now this feels like a proper size. Definitely I would say that my favorite shelf is the little Ghibli one. It just, oh, it's so nice, and that's why I really wanted it to be on the eye level. And also my little manga shelf right next to it, same reason, just on the eye level. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you're going to have a wonderful day. Bye.